there'd be a lot of poop in my pants. I've seen a 6-foot alligator go swinging through the air and slam into a tree.
These guys are the scientists of the supernatural, lecturers leaving lessons for inquiring laymen. They are applying the scientific method to a world that baffles science. They are the cryptids of the corn.
But who else has big black wings and red eyes?
Batman.
Oh, Mothman.
Oh yeah, Mothman.
A great white shark was stolen.
Oh, someone stole a shark?
I got stuff for you don't even know about.
She's a witch. She turned me into a newt.
Who knows? Anything could be possible. Anything could be possible.
It's really big abduction vibes.
Holy moly.
It sounds like you were abducted.
And it just stood up. I mean, it just like kept going and going. And she goes, what the?
Welcome back to Cryptids of the Corn podcast. I am the great and powerful mystery.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, brother.
And I am Macho Man Randy... Wait, Macho Man J Savage clone number... I don't know, 4.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And thank you guys for joining us on this amazing episode. This is going to be a weird episode. I did this script incredibly tired, and it ended up in a weird place.
That's all right.
But we'll get to the topic in a minute. Let's do our front of house stuff real fast, rapid fire-ish. The GoFundMe is live, so that's for our lawn chair documentary series coming out on YouTube.
Kickstarter.
The Kickstarter, what did I say?
GoFundMe.
Oh, sorry, Kickstarter. The Kickstarter is live. The link is below. If you guys are able to donate, we greatly appreciate it. If you're not able to donate, please still share it around to help get some support for it.
Just share. It's free, and it helps us out.
We greatly appreciate it.
You might share it to that one person that'll just
be like, here's
give us the full
$2,000
donation in one. Yeah.
But no, it's for the camera equipment, microphones, carrying case, that kind of stuff. That's really all it's buying.
Right. Yeah.
We can handle the rest of the stuff. But yeah, so that's exciting. We're going to do it. Basically, it's like a paranormal documentary series or the cryptozoological documentary series about areas that everybody can access that people may not realize have anything paranormal about them. Kelly's Island is one that we've talked about on the show before. The Willard UFO, we've already started working on getting some strings pulled for that one. You know who you are out there.
Yeah.
Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But no, so if you guys are able to support, we greatly appreciate it.
I was just going to say his name just to be funny, but...
You say his first name.
I know. I was going to do the whole thing, but no, never mind.
Say his first name.
The moment's passed. The moment's passed,
Give
Gary.
him a shout out. Yeah, there we go.
Moment's passed, Gary, but you know who you are.
If you're coming to any shows, let us know. The next one on the docket is Small Town Monsters Fest, but we just had Ohio Bigfoot this past weekend, and it was amazing. We are pretty sure.
Pretty sure.
This is time travel. This is the week before. But I know some of you guys are coming. We're super excited. I think we finally met James and his wife. If we didn't, sorry. But he said he was coming, so.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, so we're super, super excited. If you need to email us or if you're going to contact us to get on the show or do a cross-promotion show or another podcast, email is the best way. So please use that.
If you'd like to join our Patreon, Cryptids of the Corns /Patreon and
.com. We'll get to that in a second.
Oh, okay.
Corrections about the DWA, the Dangerous Wildlife Act in the UK. So this was sent to Andrew, our UK listener. He was gracious enough. He did it. He was very polite, but there was some corrections. He did it amazingly, so we greatly appreciate you, Andrew. And he's working on some other stuff for us right now.
Oh, all right.
So I'm using him as a resource because it's very hard for a person here in the U.S. without a VPN to get full access to some of these websites.
Research foreign sites in other countries, yeah.
So the correction was that the licenses only cost about $300 to $500 US to get a big cat. But there was fear before the license or the law went into effect that it was going to be like that 15 grand like we talked about.
Yeah.
So a lot of these people jumped the gun on releasing their cats.
Just let them go.
But yeah, that's that. Thank you, Andrew. Greatly appreciate it. If you have corrections are always fine. He did it amazingly. He'd send an email saying, hey, here's some links to some websites and stuff like that. And I could only see about half the links. Like the other half of them were blocked. But that's just because I'm in the U.S.
Right, yeah. Censorship.
Mm-hmm. The Aussie community and the world has lost a great cryptozoologist, ancient culture researcher. His name is Rex Gilroy. Ash sent this to us, so thank you, Ash. You guys have heard Ash on the show several times already, or about her, and then one episode.
Yep.
So we greatly appreciate Ash. UFOs, Yowies, and ancient cultures are what he kind of researched, Rex Gilroy. I have his little blurb here. We're going to read it. He just passed away recently, I believe the 9th of April. And it's just him writing about himself. In the course of my research over many years, I observed that the ancient myths and legends of our Aborigine people speak of a race of culture heroes who inhabited the lands a long time ago, Dreamtime, and had passed on much of their culture to the Aborigines. These culture heroes are various described as being pale or white-skinned. They had the shape of many they had shaped many of the natural geological features and erected many, often truly monolithic rock formations, and they worshipped the sun, the moon, and the stars. They gave the Aborigines laws and passed on the elements of their religion, such as the sun, the earth mother, the sky father worship, and taught the Aborigine warriors the manufacturing of boomerangs and the use of womera in spear throwing. These traditions convinced me over 30 years ago that the advance of megalithic monument building people had inhabited Australia.
Absolutely.
But he's done some amazing research. He's also, he's very, very known for the Yowies. I included this little blurb because I knew this would hit Jay.
Yeah.
You're going to love this. Like, I think we're going to do a full episode on his research with ancient cultures.
Nice. Okay. I'm down for that.
It's to me, I read some of it over the last couple of weeks. It's very, very similar to what we kind of talk about with what we think happened with the mound building culture here in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, I kind of think they may be the same culture.
Ooh.
There's some, they did a lot of stuff in rock, but clay, soil, and stuff like that's not very available in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very interesting that, if you had to pick what's easier to move, a whole bunch of clay or a whole bunch of rock.
Yeah.
Clay is probably a little easier.
Yeah, you're going to pick
But if you don't have clay, you don't have clay.
You got to do what you got.
So anyways, Rex has passed away, so the world has lost a great researcher for many, many paranormal and cryptozoological areas.
And historical areas, altogether.
Right. Hidden history, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So when we wanted to acknowledge him, because I know not just Ash, but several of our Australian listeners, this is one of their big guys.
Right, yeah.
I didn't know about Rex, but I'm halfway across the world.
Right, yeah.
But we'll definitely be doing, I think, a full episode on him. He's a very interesting character, and his research is very interesting.
Now you know he's worth learning about because he's been suppressed here. You know what I mean?
VPN. Or VPN. That's our next
VPN.
investment.
Gotcha.
So thank you, Ash, for letting us know.
Yeah.
Greatly appreciate it. Now, let's move on to new reviews.
Ooh, new 5-star reviews?
Yes.
Remember, if you give us a 5-star review and with a blurb or whatever comment you want under the Apple, reviews?
Yeah.
What would you got? We'll read them on the show, like right now.
And then, so Spotify's doing some new stuff with it. It says, tell us about the show. We'll try to read some of those too, as long as they're positive. Be positive.
Right, yeah.
But no, we'll try to read some of those too for our Spotify listeners. But yeah. So this is from Little, so capital D, star R. So I don't know what the swear word is.
Little was the beginning?
Yeah.
I don't know either.
Anyways, so I love listening to your show. I first heard you guys in the confessionals, and now I listen all the time. Your theory about UFOs being living organisms occupy my thoughts on a regular basis since I heard it. You guys are definitely teaching me to think outside the box.
Hey,
we appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you. And that's what we're here for.
Now, here's an interesting name.
Thank you, little
D star R. Greatly appreciate you. Next one is Moosher Boy.
Ooh, Moosher Boy.
So Moocher. Moocher?
Yeah.
Okay, Moocher Boy. Very tasty podcast.
Ooh.
Love this podcast. Hope y'all are well, or hope all is well for y'all. P.S. Do you like potatoes?
I do like potatoes.
I love potatoes. It's probably the most eaten vegetable in this household. Vegetable is a very loose term.
I was gonna say it's a tuber.
Vegetable's not a biological term.
Oh, it's not.
Mm-mm.
What's it mean? What's it mean then?
I mean, it basically means a plant that's bred to eat.
Okay.
Like herbs could technically be vegetables and stuff like that, even though they're herbs.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, vegetable is not a biological term. It's an industrial term.
Gotcha. Okay.
Fruit's a
Fruit
biological
is,
term.
Yeah. Okay. Makes
Interesting stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we do like potatoes.
I do. Yeah.
We'll have to get a P.O. box for you guys to send us potatoes.
Right.
And
you know,
alcohol.
You got. Yeah. I was gonna do the thing from
Hint,
Forrest
hint,
Gump,
wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
where he's naming all the different shrimp on Forrest Gump. Well, I'll do it with potatoes. We like Yukon Gold potatoes,
Blue potatoes.
blue, red skin potatoes, scallop potatoes.
Now you're naming types of
mashed
food.
potatoes.
You
That's
can
like,
only think of 3 actual species of potato.
well, that's
when there's
kind of
like
what he did
50.
on what he did with the shrimps.
So you ready for Patreon members?
Yeah, we got new Patreon members.
So yeah, this is a lot of fun. We love our Patreon members. It's just a ball. Jennifer McLaughlin.
McLaughlin, maybe.
McLaughlin.
Let me see you. Yeah, that's McLaughlin, but I like McLaughlin better.
People come for the mispronunciations.
Yeah, McLaughlin. You know what? I hope we make her McLaugh a lot.
Ross, we just talked to Ross today on the Facebook Live.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So
Welcome,
Ross, thank you.
Yeah.
John, thank you, John.
John.
John is another biologist after my own heart. There you go. Big Bad John.
Big Bad John is on our Patreon.
Okay, so thank you, John, for joining. And literally, right as we were getting here this morning, Jared, Tiny Fisher.
All right.
Thank you, Jared, for joining.
Wonder if he's related to a wild
Carrie?
man Fisher
Oh, Carrie Fisher?
or Carrie Fisher.
But yeah, so that's our new Patreon stuff. Yeah, Patreon's a lot of fun.
Oh, sorry.
Trying to read the script
peeked
ahead. No, so Patreon's a lot of fun. We do all kinds of stuff. This month's event, I believe we're going to do a live show for the Patreon members.
Woo,
We just got to pick a date.
woo, woo, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We try to do, there's like special events and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, live.
Okay, so let's get into today's topic.
All right. I know we mentioned it before. Did we mention it? We haven't mentioned it yet on the
No.
show.
Trolls of Scandinavia.
Ooh.
This is a hard one to research, especially when you're tired, and especially when all the sites are talking about internet trolls.
Oh, yeah. Those kind of trolls. I bet there's some good internet trolls from Scandinavia.
There is. Like, they're having real issues with, like, it's different over there than it is here for what, like, consists of a troll.
What, like bad wise, or
Yeah.
like they're more nefarious?
Yes, they're definitely worse over there.
They're better at it.
They're, like, yeah, just causing havoc.
That's you need chaos with order.
So let's talk about the origins of the mythology. As Norse mythology goes, it's mostly handed down orally. So there's kind of like you'll hear some funky, incontradictive stuff about trolls coming up.
Okay.
But gods and monsters are reflected by different names when they come to interpret their source material. The Poic Edda and Porus Edda were the best attempts of writing down everything down. We find various disagreements with scholars and almost everything that we're going to talk about.
Okay.
So basically, there's pretty much only been 2 Norse scholars that try to write down any of their oral traditions.
Okay, got it. And all in the Norse like mythology kind of modern day version,
No, during the time when it was like during the oral tradition time, there's only 2 of them that ever try to write any of it down.
Okay, gotcha.
And they contradict heavily.
But the two
people contradict heavily.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then the people that argue about today argue about it.
Right. Well, why not? When the source is already contradictory.
So this is a good thing for a podcast. The noun troll or troll, because it just doesn't matter because it's pronounced the same way.
Oh, gotcha.
Meaning a very it can mean variations. Here's how big of a problem it means for troll in Scandinavia. It can mean friend. It can mean demon. It can mean werewolf. It can mean giant.
That's a lot of different things under one.
It comes from the Proto-Germanic word trula, and some unknown origins. There is much overlap with the term Jormun, which means giant. I actually knew that one. Trolls, Burs, which means hostile monster. Riza, which means heroic beings. And some theorize that there are 4 distinct classifications, while others believe that troll is kind of a catch-all term for mischievous or dangerous monster.
Yeah, that's more what I was thinking.
And once again, everything I just said is heavily argued with scholars. So people that just literally devote their lives to studying this Norse mythology and stuff like that argue about this all the time. And I think it really falls into the oral traditions of the group it comes from, to where I think they're all right.
Gotcha.
That if you want to go with this certain area of Norse mythology, yes, you can find it. It means demon, or it means giant, or it means the Fae folk, which will pop up later.
Right.
Or it just means it's a word for your friend to call him ugly. I'm not joking. Like, literally, like, you troll would be more of a fun derogatory term.
Like how we use it here.
Yeah.
From time to time.
Yeah. Like, here in the U.S., you call people a toad.
I think you do that more than anyone I know.
But I remember my grandma calling people toads and stuff like that. But, it's just me, like, gross.
Right, yeah.
So it's
Toad.
already problems. What we do get a kind of agreement on is that we distill all of these arguments down. There are two types of trolls: trolls of the mountain and trolls of the forest. The first type is known for being the forest or mountain trolls, and they are generally described as being large, dumb, brutish creatures akin to large Neanderthal. These are the beings you see eating hobbits for dinner on Lord of the Rings, and used to distract Voldemort and Harry Potter. They are said to be used their connections with nature to uproot trees and use them as clubs, as well as being able to cause hurricanes and avalanches. There are also trolls who riddle you to have to saw across a bridge. You find this in the story of like the billy goats and all that stuff. But that's real. It's like, what?
What is your favorite color? What is your name?
What is the average speed of a sparrow?
Yeah, I forget.
And is it European or African? I don't know. And then he explodes. So this is kind of the first kind of general type, is this mountain or forest troll. These are your big guys. So I guess here in the U.S., when you think about a troll, this is what you're thinking about.
Okay.
If you had to paint a picture, this is the thing you're thinking of.
Okay.
The next one is trolls of the cave. And
Cave trolls.
Yeah, so this is not saying that they
Are
all
these-
live in caves.
Is these the ones that live like in the basement of like their mother's home and
Yes.
type on the internet?
Now, have you seen Elsa Frozen?
Is that like the second one?
Either no, the first movie.
The first one? Okay. Yeah, I've
The
seen
little
it.
trolls that raise the guy. That's what those are.
Okay.
They're little tiny trolls that look like rocks.
Okay.
But unlike their forest home cousins, these guys live completely underground or mostly underground. They're depicted as being very small, like size of child, having large round bodies, short stubby legs. They're very Puckwudgie-esque.
Okay.
And generally, they're not bad if you don't mess with them.
These are kind of like.
They're not friendly to humans, though, by any means.
Oh, they're not.
But they're not malicious either.
Okay.
These are the trolls that are very much, we're going to talk about later. If you don't mess with me, I won't mess with you. But if you mess with me, I'll make your life a living hell.
Okay.
So,
One of those guys.
Yeah.
And they're small, you said, right? The cave ones in particular?
Yeah, they're very small. Rocky appearance.
Okay.
No matter what type of troll, they all have the characteristics in common. Aside from generally being unfriendly, they're generally depicted as stupid and dangerous. So it's especially the big guys, but they're known to lash out more easily than not.
Right, yeah.
In defense. So how do you get over on a troll? One tells of an Alaskadan, a young son of a farmer who needed wood from the forest to pay off his debt. When his first two sons went into the forest and they returned empty-handed, having been scared away by a troll, Askadan went into the forest with a piece of cheese to keep him from starving. When he encountered the angry troll, Askadan pulled out the piece of cheese, pretending it was a rock, squeezed it until whey came out. Thus the troll was fooled, fearing his great strength, offering to help the boy with cutting his wood. After working hard, the troll invited the boy back to his house for a meal. And as he was tending the fire, he pointed to two large buckets and asked the boy to fetch water. The boy realized he couldn't carry such massive buckets alone, fill them with water. So he claimed that they were too small and he would simply bring the whole spring instead.
Okay.
So where do you think the story's going so far? So far you got this boy first outsmarted the troll.
Right.
But he lied. And now the lies got him into deeper trouble.
Right. It's caught up to him.
So what do you think he does?
He probably siphons the water out of the spring.
Let's find out together. The troll obviously didn't want the whole spring in his house, so they exchanged chores.
Aha. Okay.
So basically, he was going like, "I'll bring the whole spring." He's like, "Troll's like, I don't want my house to flood.
Yeah.
You play with the fire. I'll go get the water."
Yeah.
The boy tended the fire while the troll was out to get water to make porridge. Once it was ready, the boy suggested they have an eating contest. They ate as much as they could. However, the boy had placed his knapsack underneath his skirt and was filling it with porridge without the troll noticing it. Once it was full, he stashed it in a hole and he would continue to eat. Once the troll was full and could eat no more, the boy suggested the troll cut a hole in his stomach, like the boy appeared to have done, so he could see how much he had eaten. The troll, being rather stupid, did so promptly and died. Thus, the boy took all the gold and silver, and then he could pay off the debts.
So he had the
So basically, he put this this sack underneath his skirt and was like, "See, I got all this food. Like, I can pull it out of my stomach." And the troll's like, "Oh, okay." Cut a hole in his stomach and died.
yeah. He made the what's that called? He made the troll perform seppuku on himself.
Yeah.
Cut himself open, dead.
If you can't outsmart a troll, the next best thing is church bells.
They don't like
The
bells.
unchristian beings trolls are said to be, they are driven crazy by the sound of church bells and they run away. Trolls are also repelled by lightning, which kills them, as a result of their run-in with Thor, who have said to hunted the trolls to almost extinction in the past.
Interesting. That's actually pretty awesome.
So let's talk about the church bell. And it's a cool thing in Scandinavia, there's a lot of churches that have massive boulders
yeah.
near them. And people say it's from the old trolls used to throw the rocks at them from a long distance trying to hit the bell.
Nice. Okay.
And then lightning, yeah. Thor is supposed to be one of the Norse gods. Hated trolls. He also hated the giants. And this is kind of the thing that we think the trolls and giants may be the same race.
Okay.
But yeah. And it really depends. Like, I love the new God of War game.
I haven't played it yet.
It's really good. I don't play it. I watch playthroughs because I'm weird.
Wow.
Anyways, they paint the giants in a really positive light and they paint the Norse gods in a really negative light.
Interesting.
And I enjoy it. I just enjoy the flip storytelling.
The flip dynamic.
Yeah.
It is great story. That game alone is great for storytelling. So I need to play it.
Some legends also tell that trolls turn to stone when exposed to sunlight. And they have these huge stony crags in places such as Torden, which means troll peaks in Norway. And in fact, many places within Norway are named after these creatures. The Trollgenstein mountain pass is a famous Trollgena, the troll tongue rock formation where it looks like the giant head with a tongue sticking out. No matter what type of troll you encounter, you know that you'll need to do so to keep your wits about you, to keep a knapsack full of cheese, and hope you have some church bells around. So that's kind of this fun little article I found about, like, just kind of in general, just trolls.
You ever seen that movie Troll Hunter?
Yes, I love it. And I love the new one, too.
Oh, I haven't seen the new one.
Netflix redid one. They said in the same universe. I don't feel like it is because the trolls are very different, but still similar.
They're not are they the giant
Yeah.
ones? Like, okay. And they turn
Actually,
to stone when the sun
They
comes
actually deal with the Troll King in this one.
up. Oh, okay. Is it in English, this one?
No.
Or is it still?
It's still in Swedish.
Okay, cool. I like that movie.
It's good. They're both really good. I don't think they're in the same universe. Is the only nitpick I have
yeah.
to say is that they're not in the same universe, but they're both very good movies.
They just say it to sell, so people watch it, I guess.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But in the new one, the trolls only fought the troll only fought the military. Like, people mess with him, and it very much follows the troll behavior as in reports of this kind of stuff. Like when he walks, he does actually destroy houses walking. Like, he doesn't care. He's destroying houses. But in one scene, so sorry, here's spoiler alerts.
Yeah.
In one scene, he's fighting helicopters, and he knocks a helicopter out of the air, but it's going to land on a family, and he catches the helicopter and sets it beside so it doesn't hit the family.
Ah.
So it's very much showing you early on in the film that it's like,
they do have some
well,
sympathy.
he's not evil.
Yeah.
He doesn't necessarily care, but when his actions are causing destruction, he tries to avoid it.
Gotcha. Okay.
He's looking for the other trolls.
There's some sympathy behind those cold, dead eyes.
And then I have 3 encounters for you, and they're all over the place.
Okay.
But before we get in there, I want to hit some key notes. Trolls are said to be fae.
Okay.
in some legends and lore. Some people include them in the Fae like dictionary as in they're a type of Fae. They are semi-spiritual, semi-non-spiritual beings. They're reported in, like I said earlier, both big and small. It seems like there are stories of people encountering these really big trolls. And I mean bigger than Bigfoot, bigger than like a lot of that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Trolls
like hulking big trolls, yeah.
They almost look like the Grafton Monster.
Right, that's right.
And that'll come back around here too.
I mean, with all the different... It's almost like Fae itself are...
A catch-all term?
Yes, and so are trolls.
Yes.
But it's almost like they're these beings that kind of live in our realm that kind of don't. They're kind of in between.
The Fae world.
Yeah.
The Fae realm is what it's called. Like literally, in the Fae legends, that's what... that they pop in and pop out. Some beings are more tied to our world, and some beings are more tied to the Fae realm.
Yeah. And it's just
Trolls are one that's more tied to our physical world, but are still considered a part of the Fae.
Yeah. It's a lot of overlap and a lot of
gnomes are another one too.
And
they're considered more
trolly or Fae.
Their gnomes are Fae.
Yeah,
but they're considered more here in the physical world than the Fae world.
They almost remind me of when you're talking these trolls, like gnomes kind of fall into that troll category.
There's some overlap, definitely.
Yeah.
So there are many stories of them taking human brides and being able to breed with humans, being able to reproduce. There are also many...
Oh, okay. Let's pause right there.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you from a biological standpoint. If, let's say that is true, does that mean they have to be in some form or another part of our... what's that word? The genus, family?
Yeah, so basically our family. Yes, it does. As in far as without technology. As we know right now, humans can actually splice other animals' DNAs together.
Yeah.
But as in full-on natural reproduction, you would need to be very closely related. Like even some species of horse can't breed with other species of horse. And I mean as in the general term of the family horse.
Right, yeah.
You know, zebras can breed with donkeys. I do not know if they can breed with horses.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just interesting thought.
Yes, definitely. It definitely is. So like same thing with Bigfoot. Bigfoot's said to do this.
Yeah.
They're also said to have been a lot of trading with trolls, like whole communities of trolls. So some of these really monstrous trolls, I mean 40 to 50 foot trolls, some of these were told to come into town once a year to trade with a village where they would have all this, like they'd have literally like they'd have these big knapsacks on their back with chunks of ore the size of like buggies. And they would trade stuff like cheese. Like they really like cheese, if you can't tell.
I was going to say, what would they like? That would they need from us?
Like cheese.
Okay.
Like stuff that, like human product and fabric. They did wear clothes by most accounts, but they weren't known to make their own fabrics.
Gotcha.
But there were whole areas that where trolls weren't these bad, malicious creatures. They were very much, there's these stories of them. If you don't mess with me, I won't mess with you. And you stay out of my home, I'll stay out of yours. But like even several families. There was one story... There's this Netflix show, again, called Hildy that I enjoy, but it shows this troll story where this monster troll, it's very Krampus-y.
Okay.
Has cages with bad kids on her back and comes in and takes all the bad kids once a year out and eats them and stuff like that.
We need more of them.
Yeah. But no, so it's very interesting that these monstrous size trolls are said to come into town, and there's even some old paintings of these trolls like walking in the middle of the street, making sure they don't step on people.
Huh.
It's very... We'll get into it. I know I can see your gears turning, and I know how you're going to end with this already.
You know nothing.
But it's very interesting.
Giants.
Yeah. But it's really interesting that there's these side of the legends that you don't hear very often.
Right, yeah. Kind of like that story, the BFG. You ever see that?
The Big Friendly Giant, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, he was cautious, but like he was the only one of the giants that or trolls because they were trolls.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, pretty much. It's pretty much how you're describing these. But he was cautious about people and protecting people and make sure he didn't destroy anything. But then he had like brothers or whatever, or cousins or family that he lived with. The other trolls that were extremely destructive and wanted to like kill humans and eat them.
Yes. And to me, it's pretty accurate as in how they're described.
Yeah.
It's very much on a troll-to-troll basis.
Right.
That's how humans are.
Individual, yep.
Yeah. They're also known to strike deals.
Okay.
Like, you do not go in a troll's home, a troll's territory.
Yeah.
But there are no like paths that would be like built through their areas and stuff like that, and deals would be struck as in like yearly payments or such, you know, where as long as you don't mess with anybody on this travel path, you know, they're not allowed to go into your home past this travel path. But, you know, as long as you don't mess with them once a year, you know, you get 100 pounds of cheese or something. Wine was another big one that was talked about in stories a lot.
Yeah.
To where Troll's one of these products that they probably couldn't make themselves, if you want to believe everything fully. You know, that there's these products that they couldn't make themselves, but they had the ability not to eat people.
Right, yeah. So that's a product in itself.
Yeah.
I just won't eat you or squish you or step on your home.
There's also curses with messing with Trolls areas. So here's where they get into more of the spiritual area.
Okay.
To where, like, there was this one, and we're going to talk about construction here in a second, where these people would kill themselves. Like, there was, like, the helicopter went down after surveying this mountain pass in Scandinavia. They were going to build a bridge. And all the locals were like, don't build a bridge in this pass. That's where a troll lives.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, you know, we're going to build this bridge. 3 of, I think, the 10 guys killed themselves in, like, the following month. And then a helicopter crashed and killed, like, 6 of the 7 left.
So when you say kill themselves, it's not like the government, you know, you shot yourself in the head
don't
twice.
think so.
Committed
I think
suicide.
it really was, like, the one guy was going to therapy with severe depression for, like, that month and stuff like that. Like, it seems like that kind of thing. Like a almost more of a poltergeisty, ghosty, like...
Or the trolls implemented infrasound.
And that could be, too.
It just drove them mad.
But this fear persists in modern day construction.
Yeah.
So I want to say this, because this to me, I don't. You could say they're very superstitial. I don't know. We know Per, and we know some of our Swedish friends, and they are superstitial just as much as we are.
Yeah, I know. They burn their whole village down
They canceled that.
Yeah,
I've seen that,
It's
Per.
so
They
sad.
canceled your village burning for the year.
That's ridiculous. Don't let them do it, Per. Start
Burn
the
the
fire.
town down.
Burn, yeah. Make a point.
But they're just as superstitious as we are. It's not like an extra superstitious area of the world or anything like that, is what I'm getting at. But they're in Scandinavia as a whole. Norway is one I think of, that they will literally find what they call troll stones, and they will completely change a construction like plan based off of finding a troll's home.
Yeah.
Because there's so much fear of actually messing with it that they don't want to do it. It's ruined whole like highway construction projects and stuff like that, and it's kind of fun in a weird way that, like, I guess what a troll's home is, like a certain piling of rocks is like a thing, like kind of like a Bigfoot, but much bigger.
Yeah.
Where you see these rock structures and you're like, okay, this is the entrance of a troll's territory. We can't build the overpass, or we can't build a highway through here. And some of the government officials are like, no, we're gonna build it. We're not gonna go around this mountain because you guys think a troll
lives there. Yeah.
And then all the workers stop showing up.
Yeah.
And then there's supernatural stuff is said to occur. Everything from like more mundane stuff like rocks flying from the forest at the construction equipment to like I said, suicide and just overall like feelings of dread and stuff like that, which, you know, could be infrasound or could be much more paranormal.
Yeah.
To where people seeing trolls like standing there. And trolls, I guess I didn't really go over their full appearance. They're said to have gigantic like noses. And these aren't like prominent pointy noses, like these are noses that hang down over their mouth. Think Squidward.
Huh. Okay.
But hairy, but humanoid features, big bellies, these giant arms. Like they're not Bigfoot, as in described how we describe Bigfoot.
Right.
They're much more pot-bellied, shorter legs, longer arms. It's very interesting creatures.
And these are the forest ones or the mountain ones.
And the cave ones are described as similar too, just smaller.
Gotcha.
And having a more rocky appearance.
Right. Well, probably, yeah. Like the Thing from Fantastic Four.
Like the Thing from Fantastic Four.
There we go.
So I have
He's
two
a cave troll.
I have 2 short encounters. I had a third longer one. I think we're going to save for a whole different episode.
Okay.
But just we'll talk about it. Well, I'll give you a general overview of that one because it's incredibly long. The first one is a story that was submitted to this site by Fred and Marsta in Sweden. Here you go, Per. Just for you, baby girl. So on Sunday, the 28th of February, my husband and I were walking out for a couple hours in the beautiful sunshine. I see videos of Per doing this all the time.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, they'll just walk out into the forest.
It's a Swedish thing.
Yeah. And this is a story why you don't do that.
Oh, okay.
It felt like the first real day of spring of 2021 here in Marsta, Sweden. Sorry, Marsta is not a person, it's a place.
Oh, okay.
Once again, I translated this using Google.
Yeah.
So forgive me if some of the sentences don't make sense.
Right. Yeah. We'll figure it out.
So Marsta, Sweden. Per, where's Marsta? A suburb just south of Stockholm. That's where it is.
Thank you, Bear.
The area that we lived in is full of ancient structures, everything from grave mounds from the Iron and Bronze Age, old Viking forts, runestones, and many other things. This day we decided to walk to what's left of an ancient fort up on top of a hill in the deep forest, being Shantingens Castle.
Ooh, a castle.
My husband is a photographer, and there's always time for a portrait, which I am quite spoiled with 14 years together. After checking out the abandoned old house near the road, he asked me to pose in the middle of the road for a shot, which I did. Later, upon uploading it on Twitter, a fellow asked me what was standing by the side of the road not far from me. I was surprised to find out, in my own opinion, a troll-like creature merged with nature, partially transparent. It looked like it was studying my husband and looking directly into the camera, slightly turned into my direction. Yes, I am aware of pareidolia, and it might be that. It's very similar to a troll from the artist John Berners, actually, but also like a hunching Bigfoot. Maybe my eyes just wanted to see what they wanted to see, but even if it's just a splendid case of pareidolia, it's also quite creepy and organic looking. No matter what, I find myself to be quite magical. There's something with nature spirits to me, at least I want to believe. On the way home, we also saw a strange phenomenon in the sky. A bright, shiny spot in a cloud with something else, the trace of a spiral shape moving in it.
Okay.
A fun, cool walk, not just only for the Schrödinger's troll. I also call it the UFO because the spring is fairly coming, and it's something in the Swedes, like a lot of sun and warmth.
Interesting.
So yeah, that's some of that sentence structure was a little hard to read, and it's not the author's fault. It was Google Translate.
Yeah, it all made sense though.
So basically, they take this picture, and we hear this phenomenon in the U.S. a lot.
Yeah.
Take a picture, and then you see something later on in the picture.
Right.
And what happens is, if it is a biological creature, let's say it's a flesh and blood thing, they stand very, very still. People will not notice deer and elk here in the U.S. because they're standing very, very still, and your eyes a human brain is designed to pick up on movement.
Right, exactly.
So later on, when people on YouTube and Twitter are sitting there analyzing the photo, you can start seeing things pop out. And like she's very honest, says pareidolia is an option, but it looks very Bigfooty.
It had a shape of a creature.
It looks like a face. And I seen the picture. You guys online can go look this up. It looks very Bigfooty, or at least what we'd call it. Yeah, that may be a Bigfoot in the picture. It may be a branch, but it also may be a Bigfoot.
Yeah.
But it also seems to have an outline that kind of turns into more of like we talked about with the predator, the Lima, Ohio predator creature, to where it kind of you can see the outline, but it's transparent.
Yeah, you still can't see it.
And then it's also paired with what she said is a UFO phenomena. But what she's basically describing is a cloud with what appears to be a vortex in the middle of it.
Yeah, it sounds like one of those videos of like a quote unquote a portal in the sky opening, or like the Tesla weird things when they supposedly are flying rockets up into space and whatnot, and it creates like these weird streaks or behind it, kind of looking similar type of thing.
So if we go with the more Fey folk option for trolls, Fey folk are supposed to hop in and out of portals, and gates and stuff like that. Also, with the alien angle, oftentimes is that what we believe is whatever the alien phenomena is, and they may be Fey folk in themselves. You see 2 or 3 weird phenomena. Last week we did owls and UFO phenomena connected.
Yeah.
So you kind of see that too, that you have, and we did a couple weeks before that, we did Bigfoot UFO connection. I guess we've been on a UFO kick. Didn't realize it.
Ain't that weird?
But no, so it's this kind of weird connection with UFOs, or they may be the connection with the Fey folk, that you have these weird objects and lights and artifacts in the sky. with also seeing or experiencing cryptid creatures. It's just an odd thing. It's all odd. There's no big piece to these stories, but it's just odd that they happened in proximity.
Right. Overlap.
Yeah.
Is it coincidence or is it one and the same like phenomena, together?
Sorry. It's my brain.
Phenomena.
So those are those two.
Sorry, it's my brain. It is. You're right. Something's wrong with it.
So, how does it feel when you play Roll Up to Win with Tim Hortons? Buy a hot or cold beverage using the Tim's app and find out. Roll in the app for a chance to win prizes ranging from free coffee and donuts to a Universal Orlando resort vacation or a sweet car. Oh, don't forget the TV. And this year, every roll is a shot at a $1,000 daily giveaway drawing for 2 $500 prizes. Roll up to win and get treated by Tim's. No purchase necessary. Account registration required. 50 U.S. and D.C. 18 plus entered by 4/2/23. See rules at rolluptowin.com for free entry and full details. Void in Florida and where prohibited.
So I have 2 more Swedes for you.
2 more Swedes?
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's how self-described. I don't know if that's derogatory. That's what Pear says all the time.
I don't think it's nothing wrong with that.
But 2 Swedes in nearby woods began to hear strange noises around them. They suddenly experienced an orb sighting, followed by an attack of an unseen beast or force. So this is the account. A friend and I went to the woods to barbecue over a fire, as we do now and again all around year. I live in Stockholm, Sweden, and the woods that lies next to our apartments in Guba Agana.
Guba Agana?
Guba Agana.
Okay. Sounds like
Gubbangen.
It sounds like a word on The Sims.
Gubagan?
No, I like Guba Agana. It just sounds like, The Sims when they talk. It's like that.
Gubagana.
Yeah, Gubagana, Mangrman-chan.
I have always been into Sasquatch Bigfoot subject, and I know they're real. We have them here in Sweden as well. What people refer to as trolls here is the same thing as Bigfoot and Sasquatch, just seen from different names. However, my friend and I went to the woods to a specific place we always go to when we're making a fire for a barbecue and drinking beer. That's a common Swedish thing.
Yeah.
After a while, the fire we started, I grabbed a big stick and went to the tree to knock hard 3 times. 10 minutes pass and further into the woods, and see this orb just appear and hover about 3 meters off the ground. I stared at it, thinking to myself that it's not a person with a flashlight or anything like that at all. The orb just hovered at the same spot and then just disappeared. I thought to myself, weird stuff is about to go down. Time passes and the darkness falls over the woods. We sat in front of the fire and we hear weird noises. My friend asked if I heard that. I looked over the fire in the darkness and saw 2 yellow eyes glowing in the darkness staring at us. I said, "Do you see those eyes staring at us?" He confirmed that he did. That is not a human or an animal, and I agreed with him. We sat there for 30 seconds when suddenly moving away, almost floating, leaving traces of the glowing eyes. I was creeped out. 1 week later, we go into the same spot in the dark. The fire was lit when we suddenly start to hear trees break in the woods, thick tree breaks. It started from left and moved to the right of the circling around us. The tree breaks keep moving around us and keeps getting closer and closer and gets quiet for a couple minutes. All of a sudden, 15 meters to the right of us, a big effing tree echoes through the woods. My friend quickly stood up. This 5-meter long log crashes into a big rock right in front of us. Suddenly, something that appears behind us smashes the log on another log. We jump back and away, and then it hit the upper part of the log, which means that the thing is huge and strong as hell. My friend turned the flashlight to look around. We see nothing, and it's quiet. When we walked around in the woods, we were loud as hell. Twigs breaking, tons of sounds just under our feet. But this thing moves fast and silently around us. That's the scary part as well. We were all scared as hell and quickly left. One other time, I was there walking on the track. 2 stones came flying above and it landed in front of me. It looks up in the tree and see a transparent shaped thing in the tree, and then it just disappears.
That's like that Lima, Ohio predator.
Very similar, but
Yeah.
a lot of Bigfoot elements, but really violent. And he's trying to describe these trees as just massive. There's pictures that accompany this article, and they're just massive logs,
Like old
like 1,000-pound
trees.
logs.
Yeah.
Like 15,000 pounds, 1,500 pounds, just massive. So he is going in with the Bigfoot mindset and is experiencing these things. And this is a phenomenon I also talk about here in the U.S. that when you go in with a lens and you experience any paranormal phenomenon, that you will have it filtered through that lens.
Right.
If you're a ghost hunter, this is all ghost. If you're a Bigfoot hunter, this is all Bigfoot. If you're a troll hunter, this is all troll. But he is also going with the mindset that trolls are Bigfoot.
Okay. Like one and
So
the
I'm just
same.
pointing all this stuff out.
Either they're the same creature or what they fall under the same
he
blanket.
thinks they're the same creature, just
Gotcha.
a different name.
Okay.
So what do you think of the story? Weird, violent, scary.
Yeah, but nothing actually like life threatening, I suppose. But enough to scare you. I gotta sneeze. Maybe. Nope, we're good.
Okay. So just
Sorry.
gross. You're gross.
I'm
So,
sorry.
yeah,
It's like
It's
sneaking
just
up on
weird. And these Swedish people are weird.
me. Well, no, I wouldn't go there. How are they weird? I
We
mean,
love 'em. We
Yeah,
love 'em all.
it's just weird in these Swedish people. It's just funny. No, I mean they sound very similar to us, and it sounds like very similar to stories we have. Well, like I just said, locally, like Lima, but
Hocking Hills, it really seems like where these whole logs are flying in, and these
Yeah.
rocks are being thrown.
and they're like there's some
What people don't realize about Sweden, I don't think, is that the population is very low and the wild areas are very high.
yeah.
Like Per's home videos are the best example I have. Like literally walking his house and then like he looks like he's in the middle of the pine barrens here,
Right, yeah.
but he looks like he's in town. Then he walks out 100 yards
and he's not in
in
town
deep
anymore.
forest.
Yeah, yeah.
Like there's very UP in Michigan is about the only thing I can think of that's kind of like that, and it's even still itself not that extreme in some areas.
Even up in when you're up in northern
Minnesota.
Minnesota and you're way up there, and
Minnesota.
you're up there go fish and tilt some back, and just have a good time. Then a Bigfoot's throwing a log down the mountainside at you.
It happens.
like,
It happens.
I just want to fish this lake here, bud.
So
That's my
before we get
Minnesota
into
guy.
some possible explanations or what we kind of think trolls are, you can troll hunt here in Ohio. You can also troll hunt in Chicago and several other places.
Okay.
This artist known as, let me get his work, Thomas Dambo, has done these massive troll sculptures all across the U.S. and the U.K. Here in Ohio, they're in the all-wood Arboretum. In Chicago, they were in one of the Arboretums there too. So basically, they're these giant troll statues that he makes that are all fun, and they're made of reclaimed stuff. So they're made of trash.
Okay.
But they're amazing.
What are you supposed to do?
You go, it's like a scavenger hunt for these massive creatures.
What, you just take a picture with them?
Yeah. So they're hidden. Like the one in Chicago has, I think, 11. So here in Ohio, they're Bo, Biddle, and Bibby are the name of the three trolls in the Arboretum.
What are they called again?
Bo, Biddle, and Bibby.
Oh, okay. Bo, Biddle, and Bibby.
Yeah.
Okay.
Three brothers.
Okay, gotcha.
But in Chicago, I think there's 11.
Dang.
But that Arboretum's huge.
Okay. What's what's
A plant place.
okay.
It's kind of like a big garden
Cool.
with natural stuff too. It's like kind of like a nature preserve mixed with like a biological preserve for plants. It's more geared towards plants.
The flora rather
Yeah.
than the fauna.
Yeah, right. But fauna greatly benefits.
From good flora.
Yeah.
And sometimes flora benefits from great fauna.
Sure,
It's a give and take. It's
Give
a
and
push and
take.
pull.
But yeah, so you can go look up this. Like if you just do troll hunts near me, like they'll pop up. It's fun. The big one in Chicago is like 80 feet tall.
We should start one here.
Well, there's one in Dayton.
Oh, okay. I meant in Ada.
But the big one in Chicago is like 80 feet tall. And it's the hardest one to find.
How?
It's laying down.
Oh, it's cheap.
Yeah, so people like
It's buried in the
like for these
showing out.
like these kids and stuff like that. No, it's in like a ditch.
It would just be funny though.
But so you cannot see it when you're like around it.
You got to be right on top of it. Basically.
You got to go over the hill in the ditch.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's like in a ditch, laying down napping.
Gotcha.
So what's funny is these kids are like, give you like a little map saying like it's just like, so for Ohio it'd be like, here's Bo, and then here's a hint about where Bo likes to hide, and all this stuff. And then so like you hear like this is I don't remember the big troll's name, but here's this 80-foot troll. So all these kids are like looking up and like, why can't we find this 80-foot troll?
Right.
And if you read the hits, stuff like that, it makes more sense.
You got any like written down here? Or?
No, it's just like he loves napping.
Right. Yeah.
He likes I don't know, basically likes a water ditch.
Yeah. Yeah. He likes laying in the ditch on the side of this road.
Yeah.
Look here. Where is he? I'm looking up.
But it's geared towards kids and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
It does sound like fun. Who doesn't like a good scavenger hunt?
Yeah, for 80-foot creatures.
Right. Exactly.
Looking for Godzillas.
Yeah. Oh shoot. I'm down for that.
Yorman just means big animal or big creature or giant.
Okay.
Like Jormungandr is giant snake.
Yeah, the world snake.
Oh, right. So
World serpent.
what are trolls?
Internet, people on the internet.
The ones we're talking about.
Oh.
So the first one I have on this list is just kind of just folklore.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Just kind of a compilation of stories. So from the Norse mythology, and like we already talked about the difficulties with the Norse mythology, that it's kind of hard to even pinpoint what a troll is inside their own mythology.
When the translation is
that and the oral traditions, it's very hard even there. So is it just a redundant structure left over from the Norse mythology in Scandinavia? That's a possibility. I personally don't fall to that. I think trolls are real, or at least there's something.
There's something there, just like our fae folk, our
But
Bigfoot.
I have to say that this is just as possible as everything else on this list, that they are just a relic of folklore.
Okay.
That is just hanging on. Because there's even, like I said, even in their own thing, they don't know what trolls are.
Right. Well, anything is possible.
Anything is possible. So the first one I have on this list, flesh and blood, or at least kind of flesh and blood, is Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Is this Scandinavian Bigfoot?
Yeah. Or Bigfoot like
cousins or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. Is this their version of Bigfoot?
Okay.
What's your thoughts?
I mean, yeah, I can't rule it out because just like we mentioned from Pear's videos, just as an example, there when you got vast wilderness out there and just there aren't that much people. I mean, anything could be living there. Literally anything like this. And we just because it's not in our science books and things like that doesn't mean it's not possible or it's not alive or it's not existing.
It's really great habitat for Bigfoot. And I personally, though, I don't think that at least what most people are experiencing as true trolls, maybe not this middle story we just did, or the last story we just did, but I don't think what most people are experiencing in trolls are Bigfoot. I do think there are Bigfoot in Scandinavia.
Yeah.
I don't think that's what people are experiencing and calling trolls.
Gotcha.
Like a lot of these are littler.
Okay. I understand.
Then a lot of them are a lot bigger.
Well,
I fully believe, and this is my personal opinion for Sasquatch, on an average on the global population, a small adult is like that 6 foot. Like there are areas of hard resources and stuff like that. They just don't get as big as some of the other ones. I personally believe they top out at like 12 foot. And that's just my personal beliefs. I do think there are other things that get much larger. I think they're biologically different. And I think these monstrous trolls that people are seeing are real, but not Bigfoot.
Right, I would agree with that statement.
Like there's literally murals, and I can't remember what church it is, and I think it's in Sweden or it's in Norway, of this giant female troll strolling down like the center of a town. And like people are just kind of at her feet,
just chilling, walking right with her.
Like they're normal. Like it's troll season. Like it's when the trolls come out of the mountains to trade.
Man, that would be so awesome.
And I believe I think the painting was done in like the 13th century, but it's a story from like the 7th.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, that would be so cool to see.
So yeah, it's very unique stuff. So I'm going no on the Bigfoot. At least 90% of these sightings that are trolls sightings are not Bigfoot.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm with you. I mean, I'm with you on that for the most part. Because, there's this whole other element to trolls. And I think, a small slice or portion of them could be Bigfoot-like creatures.
What about fae folk?
Now, this one, I'm more inclined to think more of them are like this. Whereas in fae folk being like kind of a catch-all term, but more of those things that are in between.
I don't want to overuse fae folk because it is a catch-all term.
Yeah.
What I think are true fae is a very small category.
Okay.
I don't think they're fae folk personally.
I just think the overlap is like they're between realms, like they're part physical, part somewhere else. But
See, I don't even think that.
okay,
We'll get to that, but that's my opinions.
yeah,
But I just think the Fae folk are kind of a European catch-all term for mysterious creatures,
okay,
or creatures that seem to have supernatural abilities, whether they do or don't. You know, that's just like they get pushed into the Fae folk.
yeah, that
You know,
rare
it's
species or creature realm.
That group of mysterious creatures. And that's what they even said in some of the Scandinavian lore, is that's maybe what the word troll even means. Is it's just anything that doesn't fit into the normal categories is a troll.
Wasn't Beowulf considered a troll?
Well, Beowulf was a man.
But I thought he was still considered like a troll or
I
something.
think his kids,
Or a beast or a troll
didn't he breed with a monster and create that stuff? She was disguised as a woman.
I can't remember. It's been a long
I think he
time.
made trolls. I think he bred with like a troll
Beowulf.
mother,
Possibly. It's been a while.
and that his offspring became monsters.
Maybe we'll do an episode on that one day.
But yeah, so there's all this stuff with that. So what's your percentage on Bigfoot? I guess I didn't get your actual.
Oh, we're
hard
doing
number.
the percentage? Okay. I know you like this part. Bigfoot.
One day it'll accidentally add up to 100.
It would definitely be an accident. 10% Bigfoot. It's that sightings are, I'm willing to put it in that realm. That's what, because I think they're out there and there's definitely overlap in behavior.
What about Fae folk?
32%.
Ooh.
More bigger chunk of the circle, the pie.
How about this thing? Trolls are aliens.
Just not from here's or
Not from here, interdimensional or whatever aliens are, is what trolls are.
they're from another
It's
space
surprising
rock.
the amount of UFO activity seen with trolls. I left out a really big story we're going to do a whole episode on, but with some Finnish skiers. And they encountered a troll, a fully troll, and it got to a spaceship, and the one guy got psychic abilities
From this.
experiencing a troll. And he's not the only one. So there's a lot of troll encounters that end with either seeing a UFO or actually seeing the creature go into a UFO.
Okay.
And trolls have, to me, a little more supernatural-esque stuff with them than Bigfoot do, but not really. It's weird. Trolls are weird because I think they're a catch-all term
Gotcha. Okay.
for any weird phenomena that has hominoid-ish and has hair is a troll in Scandinavia, which is several countries.
What's their well, I was going to say Swedish word for troll, but Scandinavian word. Is there like a word for just
I
troll?
said it earlier. It's like trollkada,
Okay.
and then
okay.
even Riza and a couple
Right.
other words.
And then that's where the translation kind of
Yeah.
all just comes back to troll. Interesting.
Trolls are like, right now is the modern catch-all term for a lot of ancient stuff.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to think in my head if any of those break down in a different way to them.
But isn't it weird how much alien activity or alien-esque activity or what we would consider UFOs
Right. Could be
is
attributed
popping
to.
up around trolls?
Yeah, it is kind of strange. You don't really connect the two or think about the two as the same thing at all.
But people do the same thing with Bigfoot, and we have we did a whole episode
Right? Yeah. It's
on
true.
Bigfoot with UFOs.
It's like this whole realm of paranormal.
Well, we both are big believers that there's a lot more connections than most people want to realize
Right,
with the
yeah.
realm of the paranormal.
Yeah.
Whether it's cryptozoology, ghosts, ufology.
UFOs. Yeah. Alien, quote unquote.
Yeah, there's a lot more overlap than people want to realize.
People, let's just take a moment right now. One day, Cryptids of the Corn is going to connect all these dots. We're going to expose this realm and reveal it for what it really is. And I don't know what that is. yet,
I'm waiting.
but we'll get there. Just buckle up. We're all in this ride together.
So what are you giving me for aliens percentage-wise?
Well, if you think about it, there's just a lot of overlap. So when it comes to that term
And I'm
alien,
saying alien as in I don't know if they're from another rock or interdimensional or not
Yeah.
from here. It's that not from here term.
it's not from here and
Intelligent, not from here.
right with UFO like
Abilities.
ability, yeah, which is so
Which is
strange, ain't it?
Yeah.
It is so weird. How?
What
yeah,
percentage, Jay?
I'm afraid I'm breaking it down so I can get to a number in my head. I don't know, 29%.
Ooh,
But
just slightly under Bigfoot.
no, just slightly under Faye.
Oh, under Faye. I apologize.
Yeah, come on. Don't misrepresent me. This is serious. but it is weird. Like, I mean, you got trolls, and you got quote unquote like from your aliens. You got Bigfoot. You got, kind of fae. We'll say skinwalker stuff, even like but they all have like these flying ships, and ships is a loose
It's
term.
weird you said skinwalker. There's a story from Sweden that somebody called a skinwalker that I almost included in here because I'm pretty sure it was a troll.
Okay.
But and Pears attested to this, that Swedish people can be pretty obsessed with American
Folklore and
stuff like that. So I think that's another thing that's muddying the modern stuff, is trying to put English or American terms on Scandinavian paranormal events.
Right, yeah. Makes sense.
So some of them are the same, some of them are not. I fully believe they have unique things happening.
Well, like we just already have kind of discussed or discovered, is there's so many like, what's the word? Like things that act the same or have the same qualities, but they're different things, but they still kind of overlap the same behaviors. Mm-hmm. So with this, I mean, you hear about something in America has the same exact behavior, but we might know it's a completely different creature or being or whatever, but they still act in similar fashions. So you might as well just call it the same thing when it's acting the same way, but it's all the way across the globe. It's like, oh yeah, we have this here too. It does the same thing. It stole grandma last week too.
So what are you giving me percentage-wise for aliens?
I already did.
What was it? 30, 29?
Yeah.
Okay. I couldn't remember from all that spiel.
There's a lot there to unpack.
How about the next one?
Oh, I don't know how I feel about that.
Forest elementals.
Oh, actually, I do. Actually, I do know how I feel about that. See, I think this plays a huge role in a lot of these things, but I just don't know where to put my finger on elemental or...
I don't even really know what I know what the word elemental is another one that was big in the 90s. It was big in the 80s and the 90s, and now it's fae folk.
Earth, wind, fire.
Not exactly. This would be nature.
Nature, dirt.
But these beings that just exist out of the area or out of the environment itself. Mm-hmm. And if you look at it, this one of the stories said it was kind of transparent or fusing into the greenery behind it.
Yeah.
And you look at the Green Man stories and all this stuff of these Bigfoot or troll-esque creatures, these hominoids that are made of plant matter.
Yeah.
And that can disappear into the plant matter. Swamp Thing, very, kind of, literally.
Yeah.
So what do you think about this kind of stuff? I'm with you that I never really know where to put my finger on elementals.
I think I know where you put some of your fingers on it. Mushrooms.
Yeah, and I do think there is some of that phenomena with the sentient fungus and stuff like that. But how much of the phenomena is attributed to that? I don't want to be it's all that.
Let's just call it sentient fungus projections. That's what they're saying.
Sentient
fungus projections. They're making like the alien predator or the predator looking thing. It's translucent. It's there. It's not there.
It's just a projection.
It's just a projection from sentient fungus.
So
sentient fungi projection.
What are you thinking for forest elementals then?
Well, I'll still give this a nice slice of the pie, but I just don't know what it is. 25%.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Here's my second to last one for you.
Oh shoot, I'm running out of room. Yeah.
I think you're well over 100.
Not yet. 29, 31, 25.
And then
5. 9.
Yeah.
Nah, we're still there. We got room.
You made me laugh. Old demons.
Ooh.
And I mean this we talked about in Appalachia and stuff like that. These old demons from the time before, man, that some of them are still roaming the earth. I think a lot of them got locked up. And the Appalachian ones, I think, were ones.
Yeah.
And there's some evidence to suggest that these are some of the ones that may have been locked up and released by early mining events in the Scandinavian mountain ranges.
Ooh, what's the history in Scandinavian mines?
Well, we're seriously the Bronze Age and the Silver Age and all this started. It's where commercial mining for the planet, as far as we can tell from this time around, started is in Scandinavia. With they had the amount of coal and ore and stuff present, and once again, they have a lot of coal. And I really think there's something to do with these old demons being locked underneath coal beds, and that when man extracts it, it's because it's for me, it's toxic to the planet the whole way through. It's toxic to the people that mess with it the whole way through. It's very alluring because it's an easy fuel source. But the death and destruction from start to finish that accompanies coal, to me, is a warning in itself. And then once you get to the layer, these things are able to break out.
It's like a balancing thing.
Literally, it's a prison. I think it's a prison. And I think it's from when God punished some of these old demons. The ones that didn't go to hell but didn't stay in heaven. The ones that got stuck in between. And they were so evil and nasty, they put mountains on top of them.
And as we dig into the earth and we scar our land we live in,
I'm saying, yeah.
We make deep cuts.
When we start like literally,
it fights back.
You weren't here for the Appalachian Intelligence episode we did with those guys. But literally, there's stories of these old coal miners doing these test bore drills and getting into these voids under the coal pockets and either hearing like something down there like screaming, or they come back the next day and it looks like something clawed its way out of the hole and all the equipment's busted out.
Oh, that sounds. I wouldn't want to work there. I'd move to Arizona.
There's people that said that was their last day ever mining for coal.
Yeah,
but they were doing these basically kind of like oil rigs, doing test samples for coal.
Man, if you see like weird claw thing coming out of this hole,
literally the one in the Tiger Valley in West Virginia described this.
I would be like, all right, kids, we're moving to Europe.
We're going to New England.
Yeah.
Where nobody digs for coal. So there's this very spiritual thing with coal, because I've firsthand seen acid mine drainage and stuff like that. When you dig for coal, the repercussions aren't just when you burn the coal. It's even you opening up the coal vein to the outside air creates sulfuric acid that kills hundreds of miles of river, kills everything it touches. There's nothing, I mean, besides maybe a very small percentage of some kind of bacteria. But even then, 1%, like not 1%, 1 pH sulfuric acid we've found before in some of these acid mine drainage events.
That's pretty acidic.
Nothing lives there. Nothing.
It's like battery acid, ain't it?
Way worse.
Way worse?
I think battery acid scores into like a 3.
Dang, okay. It's like...
And so each one, now I may be a little wrong on this, but it's roughly like each 0.1 on the pH scale is 100 times the other way. So if you go from a 3 to a 2.9, it's 100 times more acidic.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang.
It's just a 1 to 12 scale.
It's a sensitive scale. Dang, okay.
So it's really our 1 to 14 scale, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
So it's really...
yeah, that's right.
Really dangerous stuff. So to me, there's something spiritual about this. And I've showed you the big scars down in Hocking and stuff like that from when you just put your air hole into some of these coal veins. And it literally looks like the mountain's bleeding. And so these old demons, I do think, were punished and put under this stuff because it burns the whole time. It's like a softer version of hell.
I know what it is. It just all hit me at once. You know what it is?
Huh.
So back in old times, which is probably why Appalachia is one of the oldest mountain ranges in the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was indeed a giant that had fallen and turned to a mountain. And he had a high processed sugar diet. And,
so you're going with Star Trek.
And he had like demons living in, like, bacteria, evil bacteria living in his body.
This is a Star Trek episode.
And his body, like, really?
Yeah. And the giants shed their sludge, this black evil sludge. They got all the evil out of their bodies. So, and it turned into this evil black sludge that just tortured people.
See? So these coal veins are part of this body. And once you dig into it, you're releasing these bacteria because they don't die. They go dormant, Bacteria goes dormant in these little pockets. You're digging into these billion-year-old bodies, giant bodies that have these billion-year-old bacteria living in them. And, giants were big, so bacteria is big, for them. The ones that fester in their body. Now they've been stuck in hibernation for...
I don't think that's how that works.
And then you dig them out, and you react. They're exposed to air again, and then that water vapor reactivates their stasis. And here they come. It's giant demon bacteria.
So what do you think about, though, my old giant theory, like with Appalachia?
I'm with you. I think I'm extrapolating upon it.
Well, we'll get to your demon bacteria for no apparent reason. But no, what do you think about these creatures that there is evidence that are buried under these coal, and these are the ones that are released? They were just released 3,000-4,000 years ago versus, relatively modern.
Right, 200 years ago or something.
Yeah.
And then now they're just roaming the mountains and the forests.
Another point to this is trolls are always said to have a hatred for Christianity. A real hatred. And even they're saying that if you say you're a Christian, you say you're a Christian to a troll has to leave you alone. Like, they'll just abandon it. They'll abandon the hunt and everything like this. They even did that in the original Troll Hunter show, where they said you have to be a Christian.
Yeah, they did, didn't they?
And the guy lied, and he got eaten.
Yeah. Huh.
So there's this whole demonic side to the troll legend and lore.
Yeah. Man, trying to connect these dots sometimes makes my head hurt.
So what do you think? What percentage for ancient mountain demons?
Ancient. Just funny to say out loud. Let's see. Let me put my thinking cap on it. My serious face. Ancient mountain demons, 17%.
So this is my second most likely to me.
I think it's like third for me.
Yeah. You've given the other ones that aren't as true higher percentage. Anyways, this is like the one I get behind. That especially with, like, there are Bigfoot sightings over there that are called trolls. I'm not talking about those ones. I'm talking about the actual legends of trolls. It's
the ancient mountain demons.
The ancient mountain demons. My last one are actual living giant Neanderthals or giants, whatever giants were.
Interesting.
It's just the Scandinavian mountains had a small population that have always been there and relatively recently died out because it's during the Crusades and stuff like that. They were talking about hunting Scandinavian trolls. Yeah. And paying these armies to come in and hunt out the trolls, stuff like that. So what if they literally were one of the last strong populations of giants? Now, we look at giants. They're said to almost, like, all around the world, cultures talk about the giants living in the mountains.
Right.
For some reason.
Right.
We don't know what that exact reason is, but they talk about it quite often. So is this the really 40-foot tall people? And people-ish. They weren't like, they didn't look like a man.
Humanoid.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they may not even been related to humans, per se. They may have been just human-ish looking.
Filled the niche.
Yeah. Are just big furry creatures, big hairy creatures. They had nose, they had hands, they had feet.
Stony creatures even.
Yeah, and they did talk about whether it's callus or actual stone. But this is the one I lean towards the most. That it's living. I put Neanderthals in this list, but not really Neanderthal per se. Just living ancient humans or living ancient giants, the real giants.
Yeah, and
that they're Jorman is the word that's often associated with troll, which literally means giant. Mm-hmm. And they seem to be really intelligent. They seem to craft weapons and tools, but they were very primitive also.
Like, just use brute force.
Yeah, because they didn't have the same ingenuity needs. So those parts of your brains don't develop.
Just grab a big rock and throw it at you.
Literally a tree.
Yeah.
I mean, what if in Earth's history, what could hunt a 40-foot tall human? Keep in mind, T-Rex was 20-foot tall.
A bombardier
40-foot
beetle.
long. Yeah. But so there's not any predators that's ever associated with giants. I mean,
smaller humans, about it.
Yeah. And those are feats. So your brain, you get dumb when you get big. As in not dumb, as in like
lazy.
Yeah.
Complacent.
There's nothing like big sauropods. They didn't have very large brains because they didn't need it. If you're 150 tons and 80 foot tall,
I'll just step on you.
Yeah, literally the biggest predators of their time, some of the biggest land predators on the planet, couldn't touch an adult. It would be pointless. It's like a jackal attacking an elephant.
I know what you need.
Huh.
Steve Irwin.
Steve Irwin could do it.
Yeah.
But no, so I really think that what they're talking about are the last remnants of giants. I think a lot of the sightings today are a hodgepodge of different phenomena that's just getting put under the umbrella term, but I'm talking about these old sightings, these giants these monsters coming into town that were not, as far as what we say, evil. They were very territorial. They weren't fond of humans in any great way, but they weren't malicious towards humans in any great way on a very individualized level. They would trade. They liked cheese. They liked wine. Who blames them? I'm an alcoholic cheese person myself.
Are you from Wisconsin?
No.
Oh, okay.
So what do you think? What do you think about real giants?
I just don't. I don't know if I can. For some reason, I just can't see them falling into that category of like the ancient human giants. Because when I think of like you've seen Lord of the Rings, right?
Mm-hmm.
Remember when they're going through that one mountain pass, like, oh, we can go this way, but it'll take forever, or we have to go through this mountain pass. It's shorter, we'll save time, but it's way more dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
And there's mountain trolls, and it's like the giant mountain things throwing rocks at them and stuff. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the picture I get. I don't know if I see like the giant humans maybe being like of that size or nature. I mean, I guess I don't know. I don't know where I fall in this one.
I really think they're more Neanderthal shaped giants.
What do you mean, like by that? I guess
Much wider and much broader. Giant, stocky build. Even their arms being longer.
like that 2-to-1 ratio,
Yeah,
whatever it was.
Much more. So yeah, humans are 3-to-1. Bigfoot is 2-to-1, and I think these guys may even be more rock shaped,
1-to-1.
like Grafton Monster.
Yeah,
I think they may even partially walk with their arms for balancing and stuff like that. I don't know why giants seem to gravitate towards mountain ranges, and it may just be because people don't go there.
right.
It's harder for humans to be
Yeah.
around. These guys obviously live in much colder climates, so this being covered in hair kind of would make much more sense.
Mm-hmm.
Very Bigfoot-esque, but the actual facial description stuff like that, they're humanish, but they're not Bigfoot-esque.
Yeah,
These guys have giant noses.
yeah.
These guys have these features that scream everything opposite of a Sasquatch.
Right. Yeah. When it comes to that element, yeah, for sure.
I'm going giants. What's your percentage? I just think they're giants from a different cloth. As in,
Yeah.
like, much more, like, maybe even Neanderthal giants.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to piece this together in my head right now, and I'm having difficulty where to place it. But I don't know. I mean, I guess anything's possible, isn't it? And I'll put this, 12%.
You're awful. Do you have any that I didn't include that you were thinking about?
Interesting. Well, that movie Troll Hunter it's if you haven't seen it
It's good.
and you don't mind reading
2004.
subtitles, yeah. Is it that old?
Mhm.
No way.
I think it is 2004, 2006.
No way.
They kept making the rounds again and again.
Oh wow,
It's really good.
it's really good. I really recommend watching that movie. I haven't seen the sequel yet, but I'm sure I will soon. But
It's good.
it definitely gives you a
That there are whole species, there's whole groups, there's whole members, and it even kind of falls into my modern Bigfoot humanity theory that these creatures, in that everybody at home listen to some of the bonus stuff if you want to know what I mean by that.
yeah.
That these creatures may look humanish, but they are not related to humans very closely at all,
Yeah.
and that they're much more ancient orders that just happen to co-evolve or convergent evolution into similar body builds.
Ancient Orders.
Ancient orders.
I like that. It sounds like a band name.
Cyrenian.
Cyrenian. That's the first That's the first track on the album.
Yeah. Ancient orders.
What was the mountain demon thing? The
Old Mountain. I don't remember.
I don't remember either, but
It's recorded.
that's the album.
So, do you have any though that?
I don't think I have any that you didn't directly cover or go over or touch on. I do think there's parts of this world and parts of like I think in old times maybe we were connected to that spiritual realm, if I can call that like a physical place that overlaps ours right now. But I think maybe in old times we were in more tune with that energy or realm, or so maybe like different worlds were more open to us, if any of this even makes sense. But I think back in the day, these things overlapped a lot more, and we had more access to it just from the human consciousness state of mind gave us more access to these different realms. So these things bled through and we coexisted with them a lot more. Whereas nowadays we're more locked into our material realm where we don't have access to these things, but from time to time they do bleed through. And I think as we move through time as a species and humanity, we kind of go through these bouts of more connectedness with these realms, or higher spiritual in tuneness. I don't know the way I'm trying to word it, but I think you kind of get what I'm saying. And these things will bleed through, or you gain access to them, or more awareness of them, even, you know, through these different times of higher consciousness, I don't know, or higher thinking or higher being, but not just you as an individual, when humanity as a whole.
I think technology ruins that side of it.
Yeah.
Because it makes you more reliant on that stuff than your own brain.
Yeah. You're locked into...
As a whole, like you're saying,
as
a group.
I can agree with that 100%. Because, I mean, just for example, I mean, it's getting worse as further we progress with technology. But when I was a kid, you know, you had to navigate somewhere before even MapQuest. You had to get out the map and actually navigate by a map. All right, we need to take this road to this road, this highway to that, turn off on this little road, and that's how you navigated. And now you have to like pull out your phone. You have to type in the address, or, you know, put up a little pin next to where you're going, and you just follow the phone. Look at the phone. Do what the phone says, just for example. But that might be more of a common thing in everything we're doing in life, where we rely on our phone. You know, oh, I don't know what this means. Google it. You know, that still bothers me. Like, Google it. Just Google it. It's like, yeah, you'll get your answer, but there's that piece missing. I don't know, in the human psyche of just discovering or self-learning. You rely on your phone or technology to take care of it for you now, and we lose a little part of ourselves.
Well, on that note, I have been the great and powerful mystery.
And I have been, who was I?
Number 4.
That's number 4, Brett Favre clone.
Jay,
yes.
And together, we are Cryptids of Corn Podcast. Thank you, guys. Remember, if you can, share the Kickstarter. We greatly love you and appreciate you guys for all the support you give. You guys have a great day. Bye. Thank you for listening to Cryptids of the Corn Podcast.
Please share with a friend you think would like us. It's the best way to help our show grow.
Leave a comment, rate us, a 5-star review, and remember, there is always extra content on Patreon/CryptidsOfTheCorn.com.
And don't forget, stay magical.
So, how does it feel when you play Roll Up to Win with Tim Hortons? Buy a hot or cold beverage using the Tim's app and find out. Roll in the app for a chance to win prizes ranging from free coffee and donuts to a Universal Orlando resort vacation or a sweet car. Oh, don't forget the TV. And this year, every roll is a shot at a $1,000 daily giveaway drawing for 2 $500 prizes. Roll up to win and get treated by Tim's. No purchase necessary. Account registration required. 50 U.S. and D.C. 18 plus entered by 4/2/23. See rules at rolluptowin.com for free entry or full details. Void in Florida and where prohibited.